So go on, right hand. Go on, pull it. Just keep rolling. So like that. Lower up on it. When you throw that shot back into that starting position, everyone mixes up too much on the keep it. Yeah. Pass. Right. Let's go.
I feel very confident about this fight. I've been training hard, trained like a madman the last 6-7 weeks, twice a day, every day. I feel, against his style, I feel very confident going to this fight. I think he poses a threat with his kicking game, but I think when it comes to wrestling, comes to jiu-jitsu, comes to boxing, and it comes to even if it comes down to a war, who's the bigger dog, I think everything favours me. So I'm super confident going to this fight against Cian Coakley.
What do you think of kind of Sennon's, I guess, trash talk so far?
I don't rate it that highly, if you want to call it trash talk, but even there, I know he didn't have much to say face to face, like, you know. It was mostly me doing all the fucking talking. Me going through, I studied him, I studied his fights, so I had plans on what to say to him, and he seemed a bit quieter to me, to be fair. Even the talk and the trash talk, what matters is, as John Jones said before, whoever wins the fight ultimately wins the trash talk. You know? So it matters what happens inside the cage.
How do you actually see the fight going on tonight?
I think it's going to be a one-way traffic. I think he's going to be surprised. And like, obviously I'm looking for the finish. But all I want is a win here, and I predict a win for me. And it could go over 3 rounds, it could be a finish, but I expect it to be fairly one-sided. I think I'm just too big, too strong. But if I decide to wrestle, if I land one big shot, I think he'll be doing the chicken dance. So I think it's a different game for him. As I said, you need a fucking hammer to knock me up, pal. Yeah.
What do you think are the kind of main challenges he presents as a fighter?
Presents his Muay Thai game. Like, you put us in a boxing match, I think obviously I'll win a boxing match. Put us in a wrestling match, I'll win a wrestling match. Put us in a grappling match, I'll win a grappling match. Maybe in a Muay Thai, he might have a chance there. So his Muay Thai style poses a threat. But look, if I keep that high guard, if I keep disciplined, keep composed, I think I can get him out of there or get the win, whichever. But he poses threats with those kicks. His kicks are better than my kicks. You know what I mean?
What would winning this fight actually mean to you personally?
It'd mean more than anything, because, like, as I said, I'm training all my life, and everything I went through in life to be here is just is madness, really. Because like only a few years before I got into MMA, I was just on the session, up to no good, and now to win a belt on Cage Legacy, where Ian Garry was a champion, you've Max Laddie, an up-and-comer, probably going to the UFC in a few years' time. So it'd be a massive thing for me getting the Cage Legacy belt. It's the biggest promotion in Ireland. It's the biggest Irish promotion out there.
Be a lot of eyes on this. So for whoever wins, like, how do you cope with that pressure?
I cope with it in a way of, like, I do the hard things, you know what I mean? Like, let's say if it's, I don't know, you're training a lot, going through cold therapy, or like going for, if some people are afraid to interviews, things like this, but I strive to do them, because I seek to get uncomfortable, so I can start being comfortable in these situations. And just all these big fights and feeling big pressure, it minimises it. So, like, I deal with it fairly handily. If you keep hiding from things, you're not going to grow at all, like, you know what I mean?
As a fighter, kind of like, what are like some of the kind of principles that you kind of go by? Like
I suppose discipline. Discipline's a big one. Just turn up for training, you know, like, and just being grateful that you're in this position. But I suppose, yeah, discipline is just a big one for me. You know, just turn up. Even the days you feel good, the days you feel bad. The same even in life. You know, if I was in a bad mood coming up here, I'd still come up here. You know, but if I was in a great mood, it's just being disciplined and doing the things that have to be done.
You also said there, like, kind of like some of the stuff you've come through in your life. Do you mind touching on that at all?
Just things like where something happened that I can't really go into detail with, but it happened before I got into this fight game, and then it ended up spiraling me down a very bad road. And, you know, as I said, drinking and doing other things that I shouldn't have been doing, and I never thought I was going to get here. And then I finally got out of that hole, and but 25 starting MMA, I'm 28 now, and I'm at the top of the amateur game. So fighting for title after title, main event after main event after main event. I get my name out there. I'll be going pro when the next year and a half, hopefully, and I hope to go all the way. I hope to follow what John Mitchell's doing. John Mitchell came from my club, so same with Paul Buckley, same with Lee McGill. I hope to go all the way, man. And from where I came from, that's a fairly it's a fairly cool thing for me to be doing.
What kind of fighter, or like, what can you tell me about Brian as a fighter?
He is the kind of fighter, Joe, you have the fighters that you need to get them to come in more and work harder. He's the one that you need to actually tone it down, make him work less. He'll come in twice a day, every day, and he'll tell you he's not, but he's doing a third session sneakily on his own. So he's the guy that works hard, probably harder than most people you'll find, you know.
How do you think he matches up against Arann?
I think it's a tough matchup stylistically. You know, I think it's all about the styles. So Brian's strengths and stuff, he's got great hands. I know Senan comes from a Thai boxing background. I know his kicks and everything are good. His hands and striking are going to be good, but Brian's very strong in the striking, and I think grappling wise Brian is also very underrated in his grappling. He's been fighting the best guys the whole time. Like, even I think it was within his first year and a bit we threw him into the national championships. So his matches are only against high level guys. So I think he's got a lot of experience now. I just think, you know, he's going to be very well there.
How's his camp gone?
Good. Actually, you know, he's somebody that at the start was working so hard that he was getting injuries, niggles, constantly having to, you know, try to manage that kind of idea. But he's actually now, we've got a bit of experience. You can actually see now already in his camp, he knows when to train, when to do less rounds, when to take a bit of time extra. Some days he even comes in and he can feel it himself that he just, does a little warm-up, drills, heads home. Like, it's just kind of, you know, great camp now in terms of his health, physicality, you know.
Yeah. And the night itself, the occasion, are you looking forward to? I mean, there's the Dublin crowd.
Yeah.
So what are you kind of expecting?
Yeah. Well, I'm actually, funnily enough, I'm over at PFL with John Mitchell, but I have my brother Jack and Paul Buckley, and another fella, Johnny Duggan, will be coaching. So we have 4 lads on that night. It's going to be fairly hostile, right? And it is entirely all thanks to Brian too. We've been to Dublin loads, but he's definitely the kind of person that, even at the last few events, he just gets the crowd coming. He gets it all hyped up. Like, he's definitely a hype man. So the lads are definitely going to be hearing the crowd, feeling that they're fighting on away soil for sure. Oh, I think he's got a serious future ahead of him. I think he's really good. He's really young as well. I'm pretty sure he's, like, what age is he?
19, I think.
19. Like, that's, you know, very impressive for someone his age. I think, you know, he keeps going the way he's going. He's going to be a serious talent. I think. But nevertheless, you know, I'm focusing on Brian winning against him. So, you know, I'm confident that Brian can get the job done. But I do, their whole team, his brother, Collie, all the lads, I have great respect for them all. They're doing great work.